And our colleague Jayed-Leigh Paulse is standing by as we speak to give us the latest on developments this morning in the Port Elizabeth High Court. All right, Jayed, you've been standing by for quite a while now. I see you outside, but the defining moment for today is that yesterday there was only supporters of Pastor Omotoso. So today there's supporters and opponents. Tell us about it.
That's very true, Desiree. Just behind me is Timothy Omotoso's Jesus Dominion International Church members hoisting placards once again in support of Timothy Omotoso. There's some placards reading, "We respect the rule of the law, not the circus." Other placards reading, "Set our leader free." But on the other side of the road, Natasha can just walk with me, we do have the DA and the ANC, two political parties who have also come out and thrown their weight behind the witnesses in the matter, and they are separated by police and they are cordoned off on either side of the road. But just going into court proceedings, we saw Peter Doberman, the defense for Timothy Omotoso, and the two co-accused, Lusanda Sulani and Zokiswa Sito, bringing forward that application to compel the state to provide particulars on the indictment, on the charge sheet. That would mean that the time and date and references to the alleged allegations that the state has put forward. And the Doberman spent quite a long time this morning saying that he has not been furnished by the state with these particulars, and he wants these because should they try and get an alibi for Timothy Omotoso, the defense will not be able to. He also referenced the previous testimony of Cheryl Zondi, saying that during Cheryl Zondi's testimony, he asked her when exactly the allegations that she comes forward saying that Timothy Omotoso sexually assaulted her, and when exactly this happened. She then went on the record and said that it happened in Umhlanga, and it happened during 2010 over 4 to 6 weeks. So he then said if this was the case in 2010 without time references, that is quite impossible, seeing that Timothy Omotoso was out of the country at that time. And then she then backtracked and said that no, the time references were in fact incorrect. So there was a lot of inaccuracies with regards to the charge sheet and the time and place that the said allegations against Timothy Omotoso took place, and the defense really wanting the state to provide more particulars with this. Before we went to tea break, we saw the state prosecutor Ngeba Ntelwa saying that they had provided the defense some of the particulars that they needed, and that he did not know what more he needed to provide. But we'll keep you up to breast with the latest developments here at the Port Elizabeth High Court.
Jayed-Leigh, do we have a sense of the escalating legal costs in this trial? For argument's sake or for interest's sake, what does it cost to have Doberman there for a day?
Well, Desiree, I didn't catch your question there, but I think you're asking me about the legal process with regards to the applications.
I was asking
now,
about
Judge
legal
Irma
costs.
Schoeman will have to go over that application. Sorry, Desiree, I'm still finding it very difficult to hear you.
Quite understandable, because it's very noisy in your background. But I was asking about whether we know about the legal costs for this trial. One can assume that they're only escalating.
Yeah, well, that's very true. I mean, we saw the defense advocate Peter Doberman filing several applications last year to the Constitutional Court as well as the Supreme Court of Appeal. They wanted the quashing of some of the charges on the indictment, and they subsequently lost. It was quite strange that Ms. Ntelwa made mention of that during court proceedings this morning, saying that they in fact did lose at the Constitutional Court with quashing of the charges as well as the Supreme Court of Appeal, so that he finds it very strange that the defense will try and bring a new application to compel the state to provide particulars and go that route, and really saying that this is a delay tactic by the defense to delay the proceedings further, and they really want to start. Not yet estimated how much money has gone in from the defense's side to bring these various applications forward. I mean, like I told you, it's been 2 thus far with the quashing of the charges, but it remains to be seen whether this application to compel the state to bring bring more evidence, or rather more time references and dates, that it remains to be seen whether that will actually be progressed should Judge Irma Schoeman deny them that.
All right, our colleague Jayed-Leigh Paulse covering the Omotoso trial, and as she said there, she will give us an update later. That will definitely be with the other shows coming up after the agenda.